We're going to be very pleased to reintroduce our own expert on the workings of the Hollywood scene. That's right, our friend, psychologist J. Buzz von Ornsteiner was once an actor.
Yes.
And Buzz, I think by now our viewers have to know that you've appeared in several movies,
yes,
including this one called SLASHDANCE.
Lowen!
That bozo brother of yours.
This is the last time you push me out! Why in hell wasn't I at that meeting?
Knock it off, Amos.
I will not play the fool in my own theater!
And I told you, stay out of the prop room.
Just like father! I'll show you! Oh!
Amos?
God! Oh! Oliver. It hurts.
I love it! The death scene. I mean, how many times do we, when we're growing up as kids, do the death scene? And only a few have the good fortune to actually do it in film. And that's become a cult favorite, Dr. Buzz. So thank you for sharing it with us.
Sure.
And let's talk about life in Hollywood, because you too went to Los Angeles. You know that old story, pack your bag and go, and, you know, stars in the eyes and all of that. But it's tough, isn't it? It's, you know, there are thousands of young people in Hollywood, and some not so young, trying to make it big.
No, you're absolutely right. It takes a certain kind of personality, takes a certain kind of temperament to go in there and do those rounds and make those cattle calls, and to try to see agents, try to see bookers, try to sell yourself, and try to use every opportunity that you can possibly have to try to make it, to try to be recognized in your seeking for fame. And that's what Lana Clarkson was doing. She definitely had that temperament. She definitely had that personality. She was very goal-directed, even after 20 years, still trying to meet someone who could help her in her career pursuits.
Buzz, I specifically asked our booking producer, Deb Cody, to bring you here today because I want to talk about this psychology of fame. I don't know if it's unique to America. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that it is a uniquely American phenomenon, or I guess I should say unique to the United States. But what is it, both as somebody who was in the Hollywood world and now who is a psychologist, what is this craving for fame all about?
Well, one thing, it is achievable in our society. It actually is universal. We all want to be recognized, we all want love, and we all want to have a sense of belonging. When you want fame, that's extreme love, that's extreme attention, and also it's an extreme sense of support. You feel very secure because people are always watching you. People are watching you when you go shopping, people are watching you when you go eating.
That sounds creepy to me.
It can be, but
not encouraging and secure.
I hear what you're saying, Jamie, but again, we're talking about a certain personality type. We're talking about a certain individual like Lana Clarkson. Well, that's their goal. An Anna Nicole Smith, a Paris Hilton. Now, Anna Nicole Smith, Paris Hilton, they were like glamour girls, but they wanted that attention, and they certainly go looking for it. Negative or positive, they want that attention. Lana Clarkson, though, wanted attention and fame on her terms. She still wanted to be a Hollywood actress. She didn't want to be a showgirl in Las Vegas. She didn't want notoriety. She still wanted to be known as a Hollywood actress, and that's a very different thing. It's on her terms.
Yes, we heard Harvey Sid Fisher talk about the B movie star, and we've had others come on, friends of Lana Clarkson, to say that this is somehow an offensive phrase. And I've done a little acting myself. I'll let you in on that secret. So I understand where these folks are coming from. But I thought there was some historical grounding for that phrase.
You know, to me personally, yes. I mean, B movies were second bills in theaters during the 30s, 40s, and even the 50s, and oftentimes they were also shown in drive-in movie theaters. They were less expensive than the A pictures. Their budgets were lower, and the actors, of course, were less famous, or they were on the way up, or maybe some of those actors were on the way down.
Yeah, Buzz, you told a great story about auditioning in LA and then eventually starting to see some of the folks who had been big stars make their way back to smaller projects again. And I guess maybe that's when you said, I'm going back to school.
Well, you know, the other thing is that there is a lack of structure out there, and your life is kind of on hold based on other people. I cherish that experience. What that experience taught me is I'm in control of my life, and I need structure for the quality of my life. So I went right back to school after leaving Hollywood, got 4 graduate degrees and a PhD, and I love going to school because there you go to school, you get an A, you get structure, you get productivity, and you have a sense of oneself that you're moving in your direction. The problem in Hollywood is, and like Lana Clarkson is, 20 years going to casting directors, putting your life on hold, and going after a dream is a risk you take, and it's a very inconsistent, and it doesn't necessarily have a goal where you are famous. The outcome may not be what you want.
Right, and your success or failure rate is not necessarily tied to your talent, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's all a matter of breaks, and it's like a crapshoot. There's a lot of risks. Now, she did that demo video, and you have to take those risks if you want those big payoffs. Sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do. But pursuing that, with the amount of people that are involved in trying to get the same goal you want, you do have to take those big risks.
Buzz, I think you need to go out to Hollywood and provide some sage counseling to some of the young folks, and maybe some of the not so young folks who are out there struggling in what is a very tough business. Buzz, this was not the most troubling of her testimony. She talks about Lana's pain, both emotional and physical, and we know that painkillers can be highly addictive, and there's other corroborating testimony that she struggled with some sort of addiction, needing more than the prescription would allow for. What do you make of all of this?
Well, this friend, God, if you can call her that, because with friends like this, who needs enemies?
She subpoenaed what she's supposed to do. Well, she's probably telling the truth.
Okay, Jamie, but it's a very kind of dark, dim view of a friend. I'm sure Lana Clarkson had up times and down times. This time, everything seems to be down. She seems to be depressed. She seems to be frustrated. She seems to be angry, and she's complaining a lot. But Lana Clarkson is going to work. She may complain about going to work, but she's going to work. Lana Clarkson may complain about wanting to borrow her friend's clothes, but she's borrowing her clothes because she wants to look good. Lana Clarkson may complain about making $9 an hour as a hostess, but she chose that job so she could make the connections she needed. That is someone who is still focused in meeting their goals and still being realistic and trying to adapt. She sounds like she was venting with this woman. She sounds like she was very dramatic, maybe even somewhat histrionic, but she wasn't suicidal.
You know, we never have enough time, and today I was the only defense attorney, and I had such a wonderful time with Dr. Buzz, our actor turned forensic psychologist. We hope to see you both again real soon. Stay tuned for our continuing live coverage of Spector's murder trial. Up next.